This is the DJI Osmo 360. I've never been a fan of 360 cameras. The concept is cool, but the image quality has always seemed to be lacking. So when DJI dropped their first 360 camera, I bought it to see if they could actually deliver. That was 90 days ago. By the end of this video, you'll know if this was worth getting, if you should wait for version 2, or if you should bother with 360 cameras at all. Because surprisingly, this camera changed my entire experience with 360, but more on that later. The first thing that makes the Osmo 360 different is its dual 1-inch sensor, which is supposed to give you better low light and better detail. I tested the 8K specifically to see how it holds up when you zoom in. You see, with 360 cameras, they look great at the widest angle, but the moment that you start cropping in, the image starts to fall apart. Turns out the Osmo 360 image was great. At least it was better than the Insta360 X5 and the Insta360 Twin Edition that I've used before. If you really want to push out the quality out of this image, you also have the option to shoot in D-Log-M for color correcting and color grading. But for the most part, I was just using normal 10-bit color in auto. It looked great anyway. When it comes to low light, this also comes with a super night mode. It comes handy if you're trying to be real quick about it. You'll notice with the super night mode that there is more clarity as well as contrast compared to the video mode. Although the image is great coming out of this camera, the one thing that always bothers me about using a 360 camera is that you always have to reframe your images, keyframe them, and do that whole extra step of editing just to get one single clip. It's fine if you do 1 or 2 clips, but once you have plenty, that's a problem. But that still didn't turn me off about the camera, because despite this, I was still impressed by the stitching quality. In my sample footage, you can see that I caught people standing right in the middle of the stitch line, but you couldn't even tell that it was in the middle unless you looked at the handle. So the video's good, but what about the photos? The Osmo 360 shoots a 120 megapixel photo. You're not locked into an angle that you shot at, as you have the ability to reframe in post and go as wide or as tight as you want. With the 1-inch sensor, JPEG and RAW format, and the 120 megapixels, you're able to get some pretty high quality images. Overall, my experience with the photography on this camera is excellent. Let's talk more about the editing experience though. DJI gives you 2 ways to edit: the phone app and the DJI Studio on desktop. The phone app was pretty straightforward for a quick edit. You can do your clipping, reframing, color adjustments, and all in one place. The desktop is pretty similar to that, but it also allows you to batch export your shots individually, which is great for bringing into your video editing software like Final Cut, Resolve, or Premiere. This is where you add your keyframes to your shots. This way you can get movements like panning and tilting, as well as tracking. And the tracking is also pretty intuitive once you get the hang of it. Overall, I had a positive experience editing. I'm used to not having native plugins for Final Cut when it comes to editing 360 footage, so the DJI Studio really came in handy. But what about battery life? Can this last you through a whole day? DJI claims 100 minutes of recording at 8K. I ran overheating tests here in my bedroom, and at 8K 24, it recorded for almost 2 hours before it shut down. But at higher frame rates, it doesn't last nearly as long. The Osmo 360 shares the same battery as the Action 5 Pro and the Action 6, which is excellent. Normally, I always carry a second battery, but through the days that I've been using the Osmo 360, one battery is more than enough for the whole day. Most of the time, I'm not recording 8K for more than 5 to 10 minutes at a time. If anything, it's more like 1 minute to 2 minutes. Between single lens mode and keeping my 8K clips short, one battery gets me through the day no problem. I have more than 20% by the end of the day. Alright, let me show you how the stabilization looks like. DJI put their Rocksteady 3.0 and Horizon Steady in the Osmo 360. Most of the time, I just stick with Horizon Steady, which helps with distorted lines and keeping the horizon straight. I tried running with it in single lens mode, walking and talking. It's pretty much on par with the other Osmo action cameras. I've got no complaints with stabilization as it keeps up with everything that I've thrown at it. Now, for slow motion, this is where you want to pay attention. You can shoot at 8K at 50 frames per second, 6K at 60 frames per second, and in 360 mode, I was able to push it to 4K at 100 frames per second. Unlike the Osmo action cameras, the Osmo 360 does not have a dedicated slow motion mode. Here are some shots of me hitting a tennis ball at 4K, 100 frames per second. But of all the features, here's the one that I didn't expect to love. I'm not too interested in 360 gimmicks when it comes to making a planet view or any flashy effects like that. They're cool, but not something I'd actually use. Selfie mode though is different. This 360 mode gives you a third-person perspective. It's like having a cameraman that'll follow you from far away. The invisible selfie stick stitches so well that as long as you personally aren't staring at it, you can really have your audience immersed in your environment. I've been using it for walking around and getting unique shots. And with an extended pull, you can get a drone-like shot without even having a drone. Surprisingly, this ended up being my favorite way to use the camera. And when I'm not using selfie mode, I just switch to single lens mode to cut out on the reframing and pretty much treat it as a vlogging camera. Now let's talk about the audio that comes out of this. The built-in mic on the Osmo 360 is pretty good for what it is. For casual filming, it gets the job done. This is an audio test. It's the DJI Osmo 360, and this is what it sounds like straight out of the camera using standard wind noise reduction. Most of the time when I'm talking to the camera, I stick to the DJI Mic Mini. When you buy any camera in the DJI ecosystem, you don't need to buy the receiver, only the transmitter. So you can connect seamlessly and be able to connect right away and still get high quality audio. Now, those are all the nice things that I liked about the camera. But let's talk about the one thing that really frustrated me. Build-wise, the body feels solid and it's IP68 waterproof to 10 meters. I was filming a tennis video and I stacked 2 selfie sticks on top of each other. Yeah, I know, not the brightest idea. And of course, this happened. It scuffed up the front lens permanently. Looking back, I wish I had bought lens protectors. With the current situation between the US and DJI, I can't send this in for repair. There's no DJI Carrier Fresh in the US. So one bad drop and I'm stuck with a broken camera. So here are the things that I would change about this camera to make it better. First thing I wish they had was replaceable lenses, since I broke one of mine. To make 360 life easier, I wish there was a mode where you can shoot both 360 footage and flat footage, like what Insta360 has with their Insta Frame mode. So you have the option to reframe later, but you also have a flat footage just for you to export and play with right away. But the one feature that they shouldn't have missed was adding 24 frames per second across all their video modes, because that's what I mainly shoot in. You get it when shooting in 360 mode, but when I'm using single lens mode, at the very least, I get 25 frames per second. Which is weird for someone like me coming from the US. But are these good enough reasons to wait for version 2? Well, let's look at the price. The DJI Osmo 360 is $549 US. The Insta360 also comes in at $549, but the GoPro Max 2 comes in at $499 US. One thing to note is that the Osmo 360 also comes with 105 gigabytes of usable storage. The X5 and the Max 2 don't have that. So that's one less thing that you need to buy. Based on my experience, the Osmo 360 has the best offering for image quality, a seamless wireless mic compatibility, and overall value. If having replaceable lenses right now is important to you, either invest in lens guards or pick up something like the Insta360 X5. After 90 days with the Osmo 360, DJI changed my mind about 360 cameras. And this was the best experience for me, and I wouldn't mind checking out a version 2. But for now, don't be like me and get a lens guard. Please. If you're looking for an excellent action camera for a good price, check out this one right over here.